Bombo.
Ready?
We're going.
We're going?
We're live.
Hello, welcome back to Cacho On, a Game Center CX podcast. My name is Sam, and that's the first time I didn't have to stop and think about what the actual name of our podcast was. With me here now is my diligent co-host Jackson, who has informed me that by the end of tonight's episode, he will debut his brand new catchphrase. Everyone in the studio is pumped about this. Jackson, what say you?
I say look forward and buckle in.
Oh shit, that could have been it right there. All right.
So we're back. We're continuing Prince of Persia.
Yes, we are.
If you are unfamiliar with what we're even talking about, get your ass over to the last episode, episode 7.
I know, I don't want to do it all again.
No, we won't be talking about the game. We won't be talking about anything. We're talking about crap in our personal lives, bleeping every name and location. So if you have a problem with that, jump to another Game Center CX podcast.
Oh, wait.
That was perfect.
You fucking can't. We did not plan that.
I don't know why I was so aggressive towards the listener. I actually love most of them.
It's because, well...
I'm sure I don't know everyone who listens, you know.
We almost do, man.
Yeah.
That's not true. We got those comments.
Yeah, shout out to that dude who comments on every single YouTube video upload of our podcast.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So
I'll pull him up right now.
A little. I don't know if this counts as inside baseball, but I can't. I refuse to listen to the sound of my own voice, and so I have never visited any of our recordings. My wife has.
Has she?
Yeah, she started listening today, actually.
That's fun.
Yeah. But so if there's anything being left there, I'm at the mercy of Jackson to tell me.
It is Shin Yaguchi-sama.
Oh!
Leaves a comment on every single episode.
Yes. Unique ones?
Yeah, they're different.
What are the odds he's AI?
What are... Probably low.
Cool.
On his channel, he has videos of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Persona 3 Reload.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I think I love him. I think I'm going to love him forever, actually.
Shin Yaguchi-sama, let's meet up.
This one's for you. Come on the show.
Yeah, we'll let you guest.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We love you, but also the bar is low. So it's not, it's cool, but also don't think anyone could at this point.
In case you were wondering, we are filming this almost back to back with the last one. Mm-hmm. So we might make some references for stuff we just talked about. So I understand this is going to come out a week apart. So if you're having some trouble, I greatly apologize.
Yeah. Who listens to part 2 without listening to part 1? If you're the kind of person that does that, I'd like to talk to you and pick your brain about some stuff.
Well, not even that. Just the fact that if we have any diligent day 1 listeners, they'll listen to episode 1, wait 7 days, a whole week of experiences will wash over them. Oh, shit. And they'll listen to episode, part 2. And
truly, we've let down the fans.
Yeah.
Or will by the end of this recording.
No doubt in my mind.
So look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is also translated by TV Nihon, just getting it out of the way. Yeah. Because I usually forget until something comes up.
Mm-hmm. They do good work.
They do.
We literally wouldn't be here without them.
I was thinking that earlier because I remember this one episode early on. Maybe I don't remember it actually. I think we were something like we were insulting them or making fun of them.
TV Nihon?
I'm sure it was playfully.
It was a joke.
I'm sure it wasn't serious.
That'd have been a joke.
Because thank you for translating.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of different translation groups for Game Center CX episodes. These were the only ones I could find that had the segments still in them.
Really?
Yes. Some groups will translate the challenge only. I've also seen just the segments.
Huh. I'm sure they have their own formatting reasons. Mm-hmm. But it is nice to have it all as it aired.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you. We love you. Come on the show. Anyway.
You think it'd be possible to reach out to like TV Nihon? Do you think they're still around?
Oh.
You would know more than me.
And I still don't know. So yeah.
I'll find out.
Yeah. Thank you, producer Jackson.
Yeah, no problem.
This episode opens. We're not going chronologically as best as we can, but I do want to start with a dramatic recap of how they made him work overtime last episode.
It's a whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, I kept thinking, okay, it's over now. Nope.
Yeah. And it's a recap of just the challenge.
Yeah.
Which I'd say we spent probably, more than 50% of last episode talking about the segments.
Right.
So they really had a lot.
Really, just the interview, because the interview was fucking
It was
golden.
brilliant.
Yeah. It's crazy. Both these episodes are like 57 minutes long, which are the longer end of episodes. And
Yeah.
so there's no shortage of challenge in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
This game, I'd say also, this is not for once, from me, not a detriment for this game. Its visual identity is very samey throughout.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think with the setting and everything, I think it works for this game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the rooms, I couldn't distinguish them.
I remember him stepping outside briefly and seeing the stars, and I thought, oh, so this game's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I remember Hell.
Yeah.
Hell itself.
Yeah. Even that was better than, it's the dungeons, and they look great, but it's all brown and there's chains and skeletons, and it is all very samey,
Yeah.
And it's like stepping out of the dungeons in Oblivion, and there's these great big fields you see for the first time. Have you played Oblivion?
Never.
You start in a jail cell.
Okay.
The Emperor comes to you.
Dark Souls.
There's a prophecy. Yeah. He helps you escape through these underground tunnels, these catacombs, and then you step outside and it's boom,
Yeah.
So
It's
good.
Breath of the Wild coming out of the... coma.
Coming out of the cave.
Yeah.
And he's doing just fine.
I want to... maybe I should pop Breath of the Wild in and just play that first moment on the Switch too.
I wish there was a way for me to buy the whole game again at full price and maybe even more money. Can you think of anything?
I have some idea, but I think due to unfortunate circumstances, you and I can just play the version we already own for free on a new console.
That is unfortunate. I'm chomping at the bit to spend...
How should I give Nintendo more money? I guess the welcome tour.
Yeah.
Just $10 of just dog shit no one wants.
I'll just buy 8 copies of Welcome Tour.
Yeah. For I don't even know how you would do that.
I'm very dedicated to giving Nintendo more money. It would be separate accounts.
Just making burner accounts on your Switch.
To buy that, yeah. Logging into other people's accounts.
Yeah.
What if you could download Welcome Tour onto a Switch 1?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Anyway, they recapped the last episode in which he made it through the first 13 out of 20 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And he's making pretty good time. As a reminder, he has to beat the 20th level. He has to beat all the levels in under 120 minutes. And he's got a huge buffer of time at this point, a huge cushion.
Which I should clarify. The way the mechanics of this game work is when you beat a stage, it'll give you a password to start from the beginning of that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, for the beginning of the next one. And so what he's doing...
I knew what you meant, yeah.
He has a certain amount of time in mind that he should be beating every stage at. Mm-hmm. Which is, 6 minutes per?
Yeah, they did the math, 120, yeah.
So, but what he has been doing... Because it's not like you can only have the game on for 120 minutes.
Right.
It's
that would be funny.
It rewrites its own memory. So what he's doing is he's playing through a stage, getting familiar with it, and then restarting it intentionally to try to slim down his time, therefore giving himself a bigger cushion later on.
He's going for PBs. He's going for green splits, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
green splits. Yeah. But he's done very well this far.
Yeah.
13 stages deep.
I'm impressed. Both at his strategy and his execution of it.
Yeah.
Some of that admiration will fade by the end of this episode. In fact, you have any Arena Y moments? I have one right here.
For the whole challenge thus far? Or just on this?
Just this episode. There's that, what was it? There's this part where he dies showing off. Do you remember that?
Yes, I have this one written down.
He's hanging off the edge of something. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to go down there.
Yeah.
In fact, if he goes down there, he'll die. It's too far of a drop. But he just wanted to show everyone how brave he was.
Yeah. Was that this episode?
That was this episode.
Yeah, I wrote, upon going back into the challenge, I assume after his break.
Yes.
He drops down from where he's standing and grabs onto the ledge and then just falls down Which, the way this game works, if you can't see the bottom, if you can't see the floor at the bottom of the screen, you're going to die.
Right.
He falls to his death for really no reason, because I have to imagine you have to deliberately let go.
Yeah.
And even the narrator describes it as inexplicable. It's just really this is to me similar to him walking into the blade trap or the fire trap, which I didn't mention, but same thing as the blade trap. Him knowing where it is and just standing where it's going to slice him, and he dies from it for no reason.
There's another good one later on. I wanted to mention this so bad last episode. Do you remember the spinny wooden thing that keeps hitting him in the head?
Yeah. It's straight up a wipeout obstacle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's just this wooden cylinder that spins around, and he has to crouch down through it and sort of like frog hop. Mm-hmm. But he fails to do so repeatedly, and so he just keeps getting smacked in the forehead with this piece of wood. Sometimes back into the spikes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I have to imagine is the input would have to just be holding down right or down left.
There's got to be more to it.
You think so?
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe it's like, because he's playing on a old style 4-direction D-pad, so it doesn't have the advantages of a carefully arcing control stick.
Yeah.
I bet what it is because what he does, he has to hold down and he taps left with his other hand.
That's right. He's got both hands on the. Yeah.
Yeah. I like when games do that. They create ways that you have to manipulate the game in a unique way outside of the boundaries of the screen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like Metal Gear 1 when you have to put it in a different port.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote before we kind of skipped it, but I wrote that he makes a joke to Susano that he just played Dragon Quest during the entire break.
Yeah.
And then he reveals after that in earnest that he hasn't touched the game at all.
Nope. Unlike the first time they made him take it home and he practiced every day.
Yeah, I really appreciate his honesty here.
Well, I remember at the end of Ghosts and Goblins, I think it was, he's like, I'm going to hate games. Yeah. So maybe it was for the best. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, Areno loves games.
I don't think he ever expressed any animosity towards the game in this one.
That's true too, though, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but he also didn't really say, I like this.
No.
He was very neutral about the whole experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder if I have any other Areno Y moments. Let's see. Do you?
For the whole challenge, I don't.
Which is telling.
The ledge was the last one.
Okay.
I do have, though, at this moment, the potion.
The potion.
The evil potion.
Yes.
He comes across a potion. Which, as far as I can tell, looks indistinguishable from a normal health potion.
Right. And all the potions to this point have been increasing his health, I think, and restoring it. Yeah.
They're energy tanks from Metroid.
Yeah.
He steps on it, effectively drinking it in video game language, and the entire screen mirrors vertically.
Yeah.
The game is now
and
upside
horizontally too?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
It's just pure mirror vertically.
Mirror mode.
Yeah. Mario Kart vibes. Speaking of which, I think I now have 3 stars golden trophy on 3 rallies of KO
I live
Tour.
for this. Fuck, you're one ahead of me. God
Dude,
damn it.
I keep trying the first one where you start in like the desert. Dude, that's impossible.
So
have you done it?
Yeah, yes.
I have not yet.
But it was a miracle. I had to play that one 30, 40 times.
Dude, you have to. You are screwed if you don't immediately get a lead by like the 3/4 of the first rally.
Right.
And it's so hard to get a lead on that one.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts. I've gotten, a mushroom plus 3 mushrooms, and I've barely pulled off a lead. You can't get hit that whole rally.
It was insane.
Do you play like a cheese combo when you do those? Or you just play normal?
So if what you're referring to is manipulating the rubber band AI by doing bad purposefully?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I'm playing Bowser with Real Racer because it has the highest speed set in the game, and so much of KO Tour is a straight line.
Right. I I used to exclusively play
Bowser.
and then a high speed vehicle like the Bowser Bruiser or something, an RV or an ATV. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I started to wander just because I got bored playing the same thing over and over again. Maybe I'll try something else.
Yeah.
But I didn't beat it the way some people are beating it, just by doing bad on purpose. Mostly, I don't boost start at the beginning.
You don't?
No.
Well, is that enough to make them act up?
I hang back, and then
you bag.
And then
you know that you've heard of that.
And then by the end of the first checkpoint, I'm always trying to be in first at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm drifting, but I'm not. I have to be able to justify to myself, why am I drifting?
Mm-hmm.
Can I take this turn without drifting?
Without, a lot of the times the answer is no.
Right. Yeah.
I find, I don't know if this affects it at all, but what I do is I drift, but don't achieve a mini turbo.
Okay.
I just do it just for the sake of turning, and I cut it short.
Right. I don't know if that affects it either.
That one especially is tough because you immediately after the desert, I think, you enter the old school Mario circuit.
I was gonna say,
and that's a drift heavy one.
Yes.
You're
drifting or you're dying there.
You need to get like a feather to not drift.
That would have been nice, yeah.
But even that, again, on mirror, it's tough because you don't know the turns.
Yeah, all your muscle memory is for naught. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you can do it because I've seen your ghost and I did it. So it's coming for you.
It just sucks because you have to play the game so unfamiliarly.
Yeah.
It's just doing it just to get a little check mark on the screen. You're not achieving anything. That's probably why I haven't done it in a while, because I'm not finding the inherent fun in doing it, and I've kind of have stopped caring about the completionist thing.
I'm always telling my kids this too. So I mean, I definitely equate those two things together, completionism and fun.
Yeah.
I love to tick those little check boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I make the numbers go up. I'm fucking ecstatic. And I know that's a universal video game thing, or a universal human thing even.
Yeah.
But I love doing that. I'm constantly telling my kids, like, hey, video games are meant to be fun. They can be fun and frustrating. They can be fun and agonizing and depressing and any other number of negative things.
In fact, they often are.
Yeah. But they have to be fun. If you're not having fun, you ask yourself, why are you playing this? And they're too young to understand the concept that we only have so many minutes on this earth.
Yeah.
And even if they weren't, I don't know that I would want to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even without that super heavy imperative hanging over them, I think they're finally starting to get it.
Yeah.
My older two will purposefully put down a game if they're getting upset.
That's good.
Which feels like a huge win.
It is.
Because I sure as hell didn't do that.
Yeah.
As a kid.
And they were raised on video games their whole life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels amazing. I think that was a straight line from wherever we were to where we are now. Did I digress too far?
Mirror mode to Mario Kart to video games.
Losing the inherent fun in doing things for the sake of checking off the box, right?
Yeah. And I want to say real quick, I think I've never been a box checker.
Yeah. It is true. I know this.
I never achievement hunt on roguelikes. If I'll play the whatever character or type of thing I find the most fun. I haven't done any of the challenges on Balatro just because I enjoy the main game so much. I probably might find some of them fun, but
I think you would. Yeah.
Nubby's Number Factory. There's a character that you start with $15 or 15 coins, and you get access to the shop immediately instead of after X number of rounds. Because I find that lets me kickstart my builds, and when my builds are good, that's fun for me.
Right.
So, and I have 100%ed like maybe 3 games ever.
Can you name one?
Lego Batman 3.
Hell yeah.
On the Xbox 360.
Hell yeah.
Also, I think Spider-Man PS4.
Okay.
That one's easy to 100%. That might be it.
All right. I appreciate that about you. I respect that about you because I look at you from time to time like, am I being a crazy person? Do I need to reassess what it means to 100% a game?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just inventing my own damn rules, you know?
Yeah.
And it gets a little obsessive. And so I like looking at you as a baseline of, you know, that guy is literally like, if he's not enjoying something, it's out of there.
And I think that's just also part of me because I enjoy doing too many things.
This is also true.
That when I pick one of them,
yeah.
if at any point I'm not enjoying it, I need to stop.
Yeah. Game Center CX. Yeah.
It's connected. It's
It
connected.
is. No, it is all connected. I'm just trying to find a good segue back to it. That felt natural and not forced at all.
We're the people behind the. We're the people. We're the people connecting to the show.
That's the tagline of the show.
Yeah.
Or it is now.
Yeah.
Or it won't be because it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned when he drank that potion and everything flipped vertically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how we got to mirror mode. Full circle.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sasano comes over. I thought he was going to hold the monitor that whole time.
Yeah, me too.
But he ended up just like flipping it. And that wasn't enough for some reason. Areno had to switch which side of the controller he was holding with each of his hands. And then eventually he just died and everyone was relieved. So,
Yeah. But it was fun
yeah.
to see them, again, reevaluate the way they physically play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Funness. They don't really do that anymore, do they?
I can't, I don't, not really, no.
You know what's bad when even Kojima has given up on it? That was his claim to fame forever. For years, he would always say, because he worked so closely with Sony, because all his games were Sony exclusives, he would say, the next console is going to have a smell.
Right. Oh my God.
And he always wanted to put smell in his games.
Yeah.
Like a physical smell that this player smelled.
That's
That
very Kojima.
it never happened. He even had an idea very early on, I think, before games had discs. When he was making like Metal Gear. That there'd be a segment where there was like a wax seal on the cartridge, and there'd be a game or segment where he would intentionally push the limits of the console so that it would heat up and melt the wax, so the player smelled like burning something for some sort of experience. I don't know.
Oh my God, he's an actual
He never did
insane
it.
person.
He couldn't get it to work, but yeah, that's amazing.
The liability issues on that alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm not also this. I know the details are probably off, but that's the essence of it. But anyway, he dies. He immediately dies.
He immediately dies.
It's a funny bit. Oh yeah, he also, in attempting to play upside down, he turns his chair around 180 degrees and leans backwards. So he's looking up, but his eyes are looking at the monitor and he's playing upside down.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think Doki Doki Literature Club fits the definition of going outside the bounds of the game?
Never played it.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
I've seen some YouTube videos. What I know the gist and I know what happens. What are you referring to?
Editing the game's files to progress.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And like One Shot is like that.
Oh yeah.
That's like that's a little indie game where like it accesses your computer to know your name. You don't enter your input. You don't input your name.
Right.
It's in a window. It's not the full screen, and the window like moves at some point, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
You said One Shot?
Yeah.
Right. I want to play that.
But what I said makes it. I think it's only on the computer.
There we go. I'll figure it out.
You have a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like stuff like that.
I think it's neat. I don't think it's gimmicky either.
Yeah. Also, while we're kind of almost nearing away from it, I don't think Doki Doki Literature Club is a good game. I think it's hacky.
Holding back my gut reaction here to hear you out.
I just think it's hokey.
Yeah.
Its gimmick is obvious and I don't think it pulls it off well, or its twist or whatever you want to call it. I also don't think the art is good. I don't like how the characters look.
All right. I don't think there's anything there I can really
dispute.
No, not even that.
Oh.
But like, I
Now's not the time.
now's the only time.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the art, fine, the subjective, whatever. You don't think it pulls off the twist.
Not that it doesn't pull it off, that it's not unpredictable, and I just don't like it.
Okay. I mean, and it feels like a bunch of stuff I can't argue with.
It's just an eye roll to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's an evil fucking computer. Oh my god.
Does that qualify it as a bad game, though?
You're asking if I think a game that has bad visuals and the big
visuals you don't like.
and which according to the one game dev who I think created Hang On, that's one of the key pillars of game design is visuals, audio, and gameplay. And this game has no gameplay. And
well, if you want all the endings.
And I think the climax, so you're saying I think it's a bad game because I think the visuals are bad, and the climax of the game is I'm not interested by.
Is your problem with visual novels?
No.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Just this one?
Not just this
one.
one.
But...
Yeah.
I want to dig more into this, but I can't find the words that aren't like insulting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to have this conversation. I don't know how to have it right now. And I think part of it's that, like, I really like that game, actually.
I get why people do.
Yeah.
I don't think they're wrong for liking it.
I think the twist got me.
It did?
Yeah. Josie played it before, and then she watched me play through it. And I feel like I knew something was up. But then when I read what's her name's poem right before everyone figures out what she did, being vague on purpose, for those of you who haven't played Doki Doki Literature Club and enjoy things that are good and fun, unlike my co-host Jackson. I was like, whoa,
Yeah. It's also a game you can only play once. Realistically.
I don't know. I disagree.
You think you can get a whole level of enjoyment out of playing it again?
I don't think I can ever go back and get that same level of enjoyment, but I watch movies more than once, knowing the twist and knowing what happens.
Yeah, but it's a video game.
Uh-huh.
And for me, video games, what make them,
what are games?
What makes them different is that you have agency.
Uh-huh.
And with games that I will play over and over, is because I find that the agency is so good and has so much variation that I'm wanting to continuously experience it.
I'll give you that. There are a set number of things you can do here.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there is agency. There are things, secrets to find, things to unlock. There's this one thing, how can I put this vaguely, where you put the girl who does the thing...
Talking about the pink hair one?
No, the vice president.
The evil?
No.
Oh, the purple hair one?
You got the other three before you got this one.
I don't remember the last one.
Okay, I'm gonna make a visual because people can't see that.
I thought she had pink hair. Bob?
No.
Okay.
It's unimportant. You can make it so that she is aware of everything from the start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
By going in and altering the game files.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads to some cool stuff, for example. There's a big segment, near the end when it's just you and the antagonist, so to speak. You're giving me this face.
I'm just waiting for where this is going.
Why am I trying to prove this to you? I don't know, man.
Maybe I should just play it because I've just watched a YouTube.
I'm hung up on bad game, I think. Game you don't enjoy, sure. Game that's kind of hokey, I'll give you that even. But I don't think that makes a game a bad game.
Okay. Well, okay. It was a quick judgment.
All right.
I just don't like it.
Sure, yeah.
Moving on. I don't know about this game that I've also never played it. So
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen someone else play it. Sunsoft.
Oh yeah, the game collection this time is Sunsoft,
Yeah.
of which I also noted very few games actually.
I have one note here.
Go on.
This is apparently also the first game they ever made.
Atlantis, no, not so.
No, that was there.
Okay, yeah.
But no, their first Famicom game.
You can't. Just to describe what's happening right now, I'm like bouncing up and down. I'm
Waiting
like,
for Atlantis?
no, waiting for you to. What are you going to say?
Super Arabian.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's like an action platformer where you play as a guy apparently called Super Arabian. They came out the gate on the Famicom with that.
Incredible.
Boom. Super Arabian.
You could do that.
Yeah. Especially if you're in Japan.
Yeah.
Look at Mr. Popo.
Oof. Yeah.
And Jinx.
Ooh. I just
And
just
Dodo, what is it? Dodo.
I thought it's Bobo.
That's that. Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get through all the notes I made throughout all the game collection segments
Oh, all
here.
of them. Okay.
Because there's only like two that I actually sat down. I actually wrote something down about, and that was one, Mystery of Atlantis was featured here, in which we learn finally. Did you catch this? What the fucking Mystery of Atlantis was?
I think I did, but I'm forgetting it now.
Yeah, it's another game in this collection. Icky.
Ike.
Yeah. The person you find at the end of the game, Mystery of Atlantis, is like the master.
Yes.
Or is the protagonist.
Yes. Yeah.
And that brought to me a sense of satisfaction I cannot describe.
Sunsoft, based on what I'm gathering only from these game collections, they really make games for Sunsoft fans. Because I have another note from the third Sunsoft collection. I like this way of doing them all at once.
Yeah.
I wrote that the only standout is a game called Hebereke.
Love that game.
You played it?
Yes.
Oh, but it's based on Sunsoft's own mascot characters.
Right. That game slaps. Don't care.
I know. Yeah, I said it has a really like for the Famicom especially a very charming cartoon art style. Mm-hmm. I like how it looks a lot.
I think an actual copy of that game costs $10 million trillion now.
Dollars?
Yeah.
Okay.
American.
Yeah. Of course, that's
super,
what the world
super
uses.
rare now because it was one of the last ever produced, so there wasn't a ton of them.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was Euphoria. I always confuse these two games.
That's a show made by an evil person.
No, it's like it's a different game. Like U, letter U, and then Foria.
Cool.
I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else from the game collections?
No, Habereke slaps. Everyone try it.
What's it on?
Well,
You have to emulate it.
I'm still scared to recommend that.
To recommend emulating?
Yeah. I learned today that we're on YouTube, which again, I didn't. If you were listening, when did I mention that I don't listen to these?
I think this episode.
This episode, yeah. I learned that today from Jackson. I didn't know because I don't listen to them. And I'm scared that something I say is going to get us kicked off YouTube. And that's why I haven't made any jokes about the situation in the Middle East yet.
Were you going to?
I was going to say that you held a strong opinion on one side or the other. I hadn't decided yet, whichever one was funnier. But
I'd say that statement in general is true.
well, yeah, but
Maybe not.
Okay.
Anyway,
We want to stay on YouTube.
we have maybe my favorite segment of the entire 2 episodes.
What was?
The Tamagay.
Yeah. Oh, and there were 2 in this episode.
Yeah.
I thought they were real unconventional ones too.
Mother Farm.
Yeah. They tricked him to go into a damn farm.
Yeah, they honestly did.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I don't know if it's a farm. They say it was a farm, right?
I did a bunch of research on this farm.
No fucking way.
I did a
It's
ton of
farm.
research. It is.
What the hell is that ice building he goes into?
That? No clue. That's not on the website anymore.
They had to get rid of it because of this episode.
But do you want to hear about Mother Farm?
Please Tell me about Mother Farm. I'm
So
dying.
this is a bit of a translation error
Okay.
on this part of TV Nihon. So maybe step it up next time, guys.
Okay.
They kept calling it Mother's Farm.
Okay.
In translated and non-translated material, it's called Mother Farm.
Okay.
So don't get it twisted.
Okay.
It's in Futsu, Chiba Prefecture, on Mount Kanzo-on.
All right. Kanzo on being the
Well,
name of our podcast.
I pronounced that kind of silly. It's
Okay.
Kanzo-on.
Okay.
Or, sorry, no, I just pronounced it entirely wrong. Kanozon.
Kano's. Okay.
Kanozon. What did I write about? Let me see. I gotta scroll. It turns out it's one of the most popular attractions in the entire prefecture of Chiba.
Wow.
It, especially for kids, a lot of field trips happen here.
Well, it seems like you can do anything then.
Which there's a field trip going on in the episode.
Yeah.
You can tell just by the way that all the kids are dressed in like school, like kind of uniforms. They have the like yellow things around their neck and the blue shirts.
Yeah. What's his name? Areno, the person we talk about all the time.
It's Kacho Areno.
Yeah. He's like milking a cow, and then he sticks around to like teach other kids how to milk the cow.
Which is crazy. It's just a real cow.
Yeah. I was gonna. Are those cows just set up to be milked all day?
They have to rotate them.
Can a cow be milked all day?
They have to rotate them.
Okay.
There's no way.
That's even crazier somehow.
Yeah.
These cows are rotated so that strangers can just come up and milk them. I don't know what's worse, strangers milking you all day or not getting milked.
Probably the latter, because I think infection can build.
Woof.
It was founded in February of 1962.
Uh-huh.
Long time ago.
Yeah, wow.
We're approaching over 80 years.
Nope.
Over 70 years. Over 60 years. I can't believe I did that. Wait, what the heck was that? Okay, it's late.
Okay.
It has tons of farms animals, amusement park rides, fruit picking, jam and butter making.
Whoa.
You can take a jar home, but some other stuff. There's a whole thing on a whole section of the website called activities. It looks like a fun place to go. I'd like to go here.
And this place is still operational.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel that is latest upload was a month ago. Mm-hmm. It's just a short video advertising. They have, I guess, baby sheep, like newly born baby sheep.
I'm there.
There's pages with ongoing upcoming events. There's like a flower festival going on.
Okay,
I think it already happened, but when I watched it, it was going on. No mention on the website of any games at all. Such a footnote in this place that it might not even exist anymore.
Oh my god.
They also have a bus on site, like going to and from the different reaches of the farm, that has a pig face and ears.
Oh my god.
The hood of the bus has a pig
horrible.
Face.
That's a horrible image.
It is, but in looking at a picture of it, it's really cute.
Oh man.
Yeah. So in the segment itself,
he's wandering around, he's milking cows, he's going into ice buildings and taking stuff, and people tell him, hey, put that back.
Yeah, they do bumper cars, him and Sasano.
Yeah.
Sasano smokes them.
Yeah.
Areno says that bumper cars are harder than ghosts and goblins. Which is crazy.
Which is great. Doesn't he, is that this episode?
What? Can he drive?
Hold on, I gotta know. Yes! Considering what happens later in the next Tamage segment, when he finds himself no longer able to beat the first level of Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah. Which I can't really blame him for.
I would have thought that muscle memory would have stayed with him the rest of his life.
Areno?
Yeah, well, okay. All right.
He plays some amusement park style games, like carnival games, throwing stuff at stuff.
He's not great at it.
He really just flops entirely on 2 separate games.
Would you play Title Fight? And do you remember Title Fight? Would you play Title Fight with me if I go out and buy a Title Fight machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play it once.
Can I keep it here?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah. Okay.
That's legally binding.
But I wrote about Ice World. Not much. I just wrote next Ice World, whatever that is.
He went in there.
They don't bring the camera.
The cameras weren't allowed or something. Oh, maybe they would have gotten damaged or something.
Maybe it's too tight, yeah.
Yeah.
He walks out carrying a piece of ice.
Maybe that's Abe's one weakness.
Oh, he's a flame being.
Yeah, yeah. He's like Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Penance stare.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, he brings out a piece of ice and someone's...
He's just holding it. He's just holding it in his hand.
Yeah, the more bonkers thing, someone makes him put the ice back.
Yeah, there's a woman, an employee of the farm, standing out, and when he walks out with the ice, she says, sorry, but you have to put it back.
I went to Ice World, couldn't even take some damn ice home.
Dude, the way this part is edited is so funny. They kind of a panning shot to show the sign that says Ice World on the building, and then it just cuts to Reno walking out of it.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre. There's no effort made to describe what is inside, what it is, what the point is. Everyone, it's Ice World.
It's like, yeah.
If you don't know Ice World, go fuck yourself.
Maybe it's well understood in Japan.
Ice World? Maybe they have Ice Worlds.
Yeah.
Maybe it's maybe that's like their House of Mirrors.
Yeah.
Where you can go to a park and you say, oh, they have a House of Mirror, and you know what that is.
Exactly. Oh my God. I don't know that I want to know.
I'm getting heated about this Ice World.
Because I feel like whatever it is, it couldn't live up to the level that I want it to be at this point.
Now that I'm thinking back, I don't think it even said what that is on this website. I don't think it had Ice World listed.
I don't think we're allowed to know, man.
Global warming has taken down Ice World.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. First they came for Ice World and I said nothing. Because they won't tell me what the fuck Ice World is.
If you build it, they will come. Do you remember that joke that I made about that text that I texted you? That's like a parody of that.
No, not specifically.
If you fuck them, they will come.
Was that like a 2 a.m. thing? Or was it
I don't know.
like a 2 p.m. thing at work?
Yeah. Anyway, finally.
Patients are dying.
Yeah. Come on, stop saying that. He finds the video games.
He does.
He plays one of those analog games that he loves so much.
You talking about Title Fight?
No, I'm talking about the pig thing, where he throws the balls into the pig's mouth.
I think
there's a big hard clear plastic thing. You put your hands through the hole. You put your hands through the holes.
Oh, he put his nose up against it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a pig, he put his nose against the glass and breathed.
Okay,
and you have to try to throw balls into a pig's mouth.
I think I blacked that out.
He was really bad at it. And also, there's a really, really great moment here when his nose is pressed up. Mm-hmm. Presumably Abe, the cameraman, pans down to a little kid that's standing next to the machine and looking really just, disgustedly.
This is why Abe's the king.
He just is really staring at Arena with contempt in his eyes. Really funny.
Oh, that's incredible.
And he plays Title Fight with Sasano.
Yeah.
Sasano bodies him.
Oh, yeah. And he makes a comment like, sort of like a threat, even. I don't remember exactly what it's. Something along the lines of, you should have let me win. This is bad for your career or something.
I wrote this win in the AD MVP. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It required like a translator's note too.
I wrote this in Culture Corner.
Nice.
Yes, that being
Culture Corner.
I wrote, after Sasano beats Areno at the boxing game, Areno says, "Isn't it about time you learn to play the business game?" And there's sort of a little translator's note here saying Areno means Sasano should lose on purpose to make Areno, his superior, look good.
It felt like, I don't know if that joke landed. I felt like everyone was like, is he joking or is he not joking? That's the vibe I got.
Yeah, but I also kind of just feel in general that when they're in public, the laughers aren't at play.
That's true too.
There's maybe one laugher at most. Mm-hmm. Which, if you haven't listened to the rest of our episodes, we just call... People in the studio will laugh when he makes jokes during his gameplay, and we just call them the laughers.
The laughers. That's their job.
They really laugh. Because they're just sitting in the room.
A substitute studio audience.
That's all you can do if you're them.
God, I bet it gets hot.
They didn't have. Oh, he puts a cooling pad on. They
Good,
didn't.
good luck, everyone else.
They didn't have phones to go on back then.
Right.
They couldn't go on their phone. They had to laugh.
Oh my God, that's true.
That's all
isn't
there.
it?
That's all there was to do.
Oh my God. Is that why they're playing these fucking games?
Yeah, but the whole reason he came to Mother Farm was because someone wrote him a postcard saying, "Hey, there's Donkey Kong here. Come play it."
Yeah. Oh, do you know who that person was?
Do they? Who is it?
He went by the pen name The Animal Gang Leader.
It translated to that, or he wrote that,
Or she.
or she, or they.
They.
They didn't have that back then,
I,
especially not in Japan.
oof. Yeah.
They almost still don't.
They didn't. It translated as that.
Okay, but that is. I didn't even catch that. I have no memory of that. The Animal Gang Leader.
Yeah.
That's cool. But he finally finds Donkey Kong.
Well,
Yeah. Go on.
he finds Crazy Kong. Did you research Crazy Kong?
I
at
did.
all?
Did you?
This is somehow not a bootleg. Somehow not
Yeah.
a knockoff. It's an officially licensed product for a different market because Nintendo was worried about overextending themselves into that market, as I understand it. Is that right?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't remember exactly which market, but it was like, hey, we're going to let you use this. We're going to license this to you for this use. And you can sell it in this market and you'll get a cut of the profits.
That's not what I read.
Tell me what you read.
I read that it's an officially licensed adaptation
Uh-huh.
of Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong, different colors, basically.
Right, yeah.
It was made in 1981 by Kyoei, which is only 1 year after Donkey Kong came out. And it's because Nintendo didn't have the manufacturing capability to keep up with the demand for the game.
Okay. So I mean, that's what I was talking about.
It
Was it
is.
not in a different market, though?
What do you mean by different market?
Instead of Asia, like Europe, America, China?
But this is in Asia.
Right. I mean, instead of Asia.
But he's playing it in Asia.
Yeah.
Reno is.
Well, it doesn't mean some of them don't make their way over. I don't know.
I guess, but they also had it here.
The Animal Gang Leader also said they'd never seen it, and they were wondering if it was rare.
But they have Donkey Kong here.
Yes.
I've played a machine of Donkey Kong.
Well, obviously it didn't last. Oh yeah, they pulled their license for some reason because they sold these Crazy Kong machines in places where they weren't supposed to. And so Nintendo was like, "Well, fuck you."
Well, okay, so maybe you could be right, but as far as my understanding, it was just because they couldn't keep up.
Right. I think that's the heart of it in general. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't even really touch, or they don't really show him playing at all.
Yeah. Nothing really. I mean, it's literally it's a palette swap of Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So it's
Barely even that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're back to the good old challenge.
So he's come up against his shadow.
Yes.
His shadow prince, I guess, which he manifested in part 1 by jumping through a mirror. Diligent listeners will recall that this shook me to my core.
Yeah, you gasped.
I gasped out loud. I was kind of embarrassed afterwards.
That you gasped?
Yeah. I turned around to my wife. It was like, I don't know why I did that.
That marks a good show if it makes you feel emotion.
Yeah, okay. And Areno's trying to fight it. I thought this bit was really fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, it's a subversion of expectations. Here comes this guy who's not antagonizing you directly, but has been an obstacle to you at the very least.
The gray guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you finally are in the same place as him, and you fight him because what else are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Well, here's what else you're going to do. You're not going to fight him. He's you. You're going to put your weapon away and just walk fucking into him and become whole again.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because he mirrors all your movements perfectly.
Exactly.
And it's cool because I'd also do the same thing. I thought as soon as I saw it, it's Dark Link.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And you fight Dark Link.
Uh-huh. If you do that to Dark Link will destroy you.
Yeah. He wouldn't even think about sheathing his sword.
Yeah, he's not.
The thought won't cross his mind.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're supposed to put your sword away and just walk into him and, return soul to body.
I thought that was a really cool way to play with
the format.
Yeah. Well, back to video game language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game really does a lot of extracurricular game design.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that landed.
It took me a second to wrap my head around it, but yeah.
A lot of, the changing the thing. By which I mean turning the screen upside down via the evil potion.
Oh, it is fucking late, isn't it? Oh my god.
Changing the thing. Wasn't there one other thing too? I'm trying to think of a third thing.
Yes.
Using both hands on the D-pad to
Right,
crawl
yeah.
along the floor.
Yeah, I think the central conceit is an example of that itself. All these levels within a certain time limit. If the time runs out, as we've seen, you don't have to stop playing. There's presumably a different ending.
Yeah.
But
It just says time up.
yeah,
Yeah. Which, they really don't explore that. He just resets the game. Mm-hmm. Cool.
yeah, I agree.
Oh, and the other thing about the clone is that when he kills it, it kills him.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is a sweet little metaphor. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I noticed?
Mm-hmm.
They've stopped rating difficulties with stars. They don't rate difficulties anymore. Yeah.
They really gave up on that. Which I have to imagine maybe they got some fan mail saying, you're wildly inconsistent.
They
King."
listened to the podcast.
They did.
They heard me railing against this bizarre no rules system, this whose line is it anyway mockery
Points.
of of grading difficulty.
Wasn't it specifically you mentioned that in Ghosts and Goblins, using a continue was the same difficulty as Red Armor?
It was something like that.
4 stars or something. 3
Unfucking
stars.
believable, man.
Which, to be fair, I've never used a continue in that way, so it might be.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
There's a boss here, Ashura. Genuinely scary. Reminded me of how I used to be scared of the bad guy from A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 arms.
I mean, I was a kid then, but whatever.
Also, of note, he pops a cooling pad for this.
Oh, yeah. Is that what he does? Cool.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see where he chooses to do that.
Mm-hmm. I have to imagine some of it is subconscious, the same way that if you get warm, you take off your hoodie.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some of it, too, is, where is he internally going into this challenge?
Yeah. He's gearing up.
Yeah.
This fight looked hard. Dude jumping around, he's
did.
dropping skulls.
Yeah.
Reno weaved through this one greatly. He was dodging skulls in a way I've never seen him dodge skulls.
Yeah. And it probably never will dodge them again.
He is. They seem to fall pretty fast. You get barely an idea of where they're going to fall.
Very Prince-like.
Prince?
Prince-like, yeah.
What's that?
Like in Persia.
Oh, yes.
or
Princely.
The princes of Persia.
Yeah.
Princes R.E. the nation of Persia.
Kingdom.
Vis-a-vis kingdom, yes.
Empire. Persian Empire.
Princes vis-a-vis Persia, the Persian Empire.
Does Persia just refer to the Persian Empire? It's not like its whole boundaries make up what is now a country?
Are we talking about in general, or are we talking about in this game?
In general. Because the same way that like Siam is
The
now...
answer is so funny because for whatever you said, I guess it was actually, I don't know. I don't know why I made you differentiate there.
But I mean, isn't Siam now Thailand?
I think it used to have a different name.
What?
It
Thailand?
might have been Siam. Yeah.
No, I know that Siam is the old name for what is now a country.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I wonder if that is the case for Persia and, I don't know, maybe Iraq or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be good to look up before we started the show. But yeah, he really won on a second try.
Yeah, it was awesome. Which makes what happens next forgivable. In his defense, this looks like a really hard part.
The spike trap?
Is that where he has to make a bunch of really quick jumps in succession?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I said that...
Spike trap.
I can't picture it because it's so long since I've seen the episode, but he said he just fucking stood directly under a spike trap again. So I have to imagine it's the same as the guillotine thing that killed him that I mentioned last episode.
Oh, was that the hallway?
I think so.
With like 6 of them? He's got to take little baby steps through?
Maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, there was another one where he just knew where it was going to close and he stood on it. But yeah, now we're at the jumpers.
Yeah. Which, you know, Susano, 80 MVP. I don't know how many times Reno tried this, if it was more than once.
A lot.
It was?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Eventually, Susano's like, we got to get the show on the road. Sir, may I try one?
He gets that question. Did you notice the text on this one?
No.
I mentioned it before, but whenever he asked that, there's a little yellow or orange block highlighted quote that comes on screen with chunky black Japanese text that says, presumably, may I get one life.
So it's a bit of a phrase.
Yeah.
Catchphrase. Maybe not a catchphrase per se, but yeah.
I definitely have noticed it before, and I definitely noticed it in Mega Man.
You brought that up.
Yeah.
Huh.
But he bodies it.
First try, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just gives the controller back. God, he's cool.
Love Susano.
I don't know how the rest of the 80s stack up, but is Susano like among the top in terms of game performance?
Yes.
Yeah,
In
I'm
my
surprised.
opinion. Yeah.
He literally bodies everything first try.
I think he's probably better than Tojima. I don't think he's as cool as Tojima.
Yeah. I think there's
But that's like Tojima approaches Abe levels of cool.
Yeah.
Know? So it's hard.
I think there's only one instance, maybe in episode 2 or 3, that I can picture. He asks he can get a life, and he dies, and then he asks, "Can I get one more?"
It, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he does it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
We're at 18 hours at this point.
Yeah.
But it's on stage 19.
I noted at this point. So I'm glad he bought a lot of time in the beginning because now he's accepting splits. I'm going to use that term, I guess, of like 20 minutes.
He's been slacking.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go through, for example, stage 18 again.
The slacking is catching up to him.
Yeah.
At this point.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a legitimate tactic to be able to, squander that time in the end and saving it up at the beginning on purpose because you know you're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
But surely you can do better than 20 minutes, Reno. Good Lord.
Yeah, he's now pretty consistently getting time ups on these last 2 stages. But before that, we get a Tamage. Do you have something else?
Yes.
Okay, what?
Is that really? It don't matter. I feel like they're really reluctant at this point in the series to let Reno fail a challenge in a way that we won't see down the road. I think
They let him fail later, you say?
Yes, and they won't give him as much of a runway, as much rope.
3 days worth?
Yeah.
Spread out over 20 real life days?
3-day challenge.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
okay.
I think down the road might be a shorter road than you think.
I am thinking of a specific time coming up here in the next few seasons.
Yeah, it's much shorter than you think.
I don't want to dig into that for my sake and for the people listening to this.
Yeah.
And also because I really don't remember how Mega Man 2 ends. So, yeah.
Hey, who said anything about Mega Man?
I know. Wait, have you looked ahead? Why am I asking questions? Why am I digging into this? Okay.
A magician never reveals his secrets.
All I'm saying is that right now it feels like the suits upstairs think that it'd be better television for him to win, and not just more often than not, but have a near perfect record.
Yeah. I also wonder if at this point they're thinking a lot about the show as a game showcase. Yeah. Because it is called Game Center CX.
There is more of that right now than we will see later.
Yeah.
And not just with the game collections either, but with fucking Royal Rumble for Royal Roses, Rumble Roses, for example, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
These game creator interviews and the otherwise fantastic interviews, awkwardly not bookended, but you know, interlaced with these gratuitous ads. These what's it called?
Bumpers.
They're too on the nose.
Yeah.
You know? I don't
play this game.
I really exactly.
Play this game right now.
I really just touched my nose to say that. I am a monkey.
Yeah, and I also think that also might be due in part because of this. We're still in the transitionary period of going from challenge as a segment in this larger show to challenge is the show.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that too.
The season is kind of perfecting the formula, as it were.
Do you remember what was going on when somebody shouted, "It's coming"?
No.
No?
I didn't write this.
What the
I don't
fuck
remember this.
was that? It wasn't a Reno. It was just somebody behind the camera.
You wrote this?
Yeah.
It's coming?
It's coming. It was like a big moment. I don't remember what it was.
Huh.
He was playing to a very lively room though near the end of the game.
Yeah. Which I can't blame him.
Everyone was hooting and hollering.
We're 20 days down the road.
Yeah.
Literally. Of which, presumably, Reno has played for 12 of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
My God. What a huge challenge. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Hey, but we get the blessing of another Tamagay.
Yes, we do. And it's one unlike any that I can recall ever being in the series. He goes to, I don't remember the name of it. You probably wrote it down. A store that sells like motherboards and CPU boards of arcade games. You're giving me the look that says, of course I wrote it down. You fool, you moron, you imbecile. Who the fuck do you think I am? You will refer to me as Jackson Diary from now on. Take it away, Jackson. Say the line.
They go to a place called G-Front.
How can I forget that?
G-Front.
That's right.
Very similar, you'll find, to the Mega Man Game Center.
Ooh.
In Akihabara, Tokyo. The electronics lover's paradise in Japan.
It is known.
They have games galore there. Is he bothering you?
No.
Okay. There's a cat on the table.
Yeah.
Cat on the table. Nathan, for you, vibes.
One time he turned off all of our recording equipment.
Yeah. In the middle of the Ghosts and Goblins episode.
Yeah, we thought we lost everything.
He stepped on the switch that dictates whether the power strip is on or off, and therefore shut off my computer that was actively recording about an hour and 10 minutes into the episode.
Holy fuck, that was funny.
But thank God Audacity saved it into the cloud.
Shout out to Audacity.
Yeah. We only lost about a couple minutes. But
which you could lose any couple minutes of our episodes. Hey-oh!
Yeah. And I want to say there's a good few in this one about Doki Doki Literature Club that we could lose.
This man's always telling me, we can go on, we can tangent, whatever. I tangent. Not like that.
Well, the tangent was my fault, and I'll take fault for that. I was being needlessly antagonistic.
Did you cut out my joke from a couple episodes ago? About your friends?
About black friends?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, I heard a comment on it from someone I know.
Was it...
I'll tell you later.
Are we good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a shop that repairs arcade board circuits. Arcade circuit boards. This being, for those who are out of the know on arcade boards, which might include you. I don't know. Maybe you are in the know now due to this episode.
I've not... Tell me. Probably not.
Arcade boards are the console.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did know that, yeah.
The big cabinet you see, they just basically have a, obviously this is a gross exaggeration, but they have a shelf inside that it sits on, and and it's plugged into a monitor and into the controls.
Yeah.
I know of people who have arcade boards of specific games. They just will plug into a CRT and play it exactly as it were, and I think that's really cool. And I would be interested in. Maybe when I live in somewhere with more space and having some. Right.
I was going to say, I thought it was really cool that a place like this could exist, that a business like this could exist.
I'm sure it does. Still.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But the postcard recommends that Reno buys a board so we can play some game at home. Mm-hmm. Because I assume, because they are assuming that Reno doesn't know about this, and that is something he'd love. And this will also get touched on in later episodes, some of which I've seen with you, that he really likes the idea of owning arcade games.
Yeah.
Which don't we all?
Yeah, honestly. My friend in high school built one
What? A cab?
He built a cabinet, yeah, and just put like a little computer emulator in there.
That's like my dream.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. Is this the guitar guy?
I grew up in high school. I think almost every single one of my friends played guitar.
Oh,
and they were really good at it.
I meant the one who made a guitar. Made guitars.
Made guitars. That was my dad bought a guitar from a tweaker.
Yeah.
I wasn't friends with any tweakers.
Oh.
Sorry.
I've seen the tweaker guitar, and I remember you said that before he became a tweaker, he did that as a business. So I thought I just had the idea you knew this person.
No, yeah.
Okay.
This was my friend in high school. They were the same age as me.
Right. No, I know. I'm saying I didn't know about your relation to the tweaker.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna put this out there so it's on the record if it's nowhere else. Some of my friends from high school that did get into worse stuff later in life definitely stopped being friends with me and became better friends with my dad.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Your dad's an interesting fellow.
There's a lot to unpack there, but mainly it's a comment on the kind of person my dad is and the kinds of things my dad does, which isn't drugs. He's clean and sober, has been for decades, but
really,
yeah,
that's cool.
It's just a weirdo. All right,
he's interesting.
He is.
Okay, yeah, this is a very brief Tamagay.
It is.
He gets there. He learns about computer boards. He seemingly leaves empty-handed. But he does play a little bit of Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, you can't beat it
He
anymore.
really does everywhere he can.
Oh God, I'm so. Yeah, he doesn't. When he picked up that one board and like the wires fell off.
Yeah,
that was a jump scare for me.
I mean, that's how I would be around this thing. I would feel awful just touching the bare green board.
Honestly, yeah.
But that's not obviously. You think about it, it's like, oh, that's not how they work.
Right.
You can't just It's just nothing much of note. Just cool to look at the inner workings of arcade games.
Okay.
Kind of wrapping up the challenge here.
Yep. Home stretch.
Boss rush.
I don't know when this was, but I wrote he really died twice here.
Yeah, I wrote how did he fuck up the jump again?
Yo! Oh, that's right.
Took him 36 tries to get here. I wrote that I was really frustrated with him.
Was this Areno's giant blunder? I wonder.
It's the big gap jump, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really need to play this game to get a feel for why he's doing this so badly.
I was wondering if it's like on the Switch Nintendo Classic or something. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It isn't?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I bet maybe on Steam there's like a port.
Yeah. Did you check the eShop?
This Nintendo one?
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay.
We can look after this.
Thank you.
I wrote, again, similar to last episode, for those who remember, Rare Super Play.
Rare Super Play.
Super technique is said in English when he makes the jump.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now he's on the final stage.
It feels too generous for him.
Super technique?
Because they said that after he fucked it up.
36 times? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can't...
Or no, I guess he messed up the jump twice. It just took him 36 tries to get to the jump.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get an S rank for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not...
He was doing the wall thing a lot.
What's that?
During the boss rush. The super wall jamming technique. Very funny way of just abusing the AI.
Yeah. And this becomes something he's known for, is catching bosses or enemies in a pattern.
Yeah.
It's something he actively looks for and utilizes. So...
Good for him, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
He's good at putter.
I don't think it's scummy. He has to get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Or he loses his job. Side note, learned today that my wife actually thought this was his job.
Playing the games?
Yes.
Not the TV show.
Correct.
That's funny.
Yeah, and
she got cut up in the lore.
They were just, yeah. I thought that was a great testament to how serious yet playfully they take the whole conceit, you know? And but also I was like, really?
Did she not question the fact that they're laughing constantly?
I think that she believes in a world where anything is possible and dreams come true. I'm not going to fault her for that.
Japan.
Especially because I know where my bread gets buttered. So I love my beautiful wife. She's so pretty and smart and funny. She smells good. It's too much.
All right.
I like my life. I want to keep it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Super technique said in English. I already said that. He's on the final stage. He only has 4 minutes left.
Oh my God.
Also, I realize at this point, based on something Areno says, that he believes the princess's name is Persia.
I missed that entirely.
I think there's a cutscene where right before the boss where it shows the princess like in her, little room where she's being kept. And she says, "Oh, that's Persia," or something like that. Isn't that funny?
I'm gonna cry. Oh my fucking God.
Which I'm thinking,
that's one step removed from that bit of pointing at the movie screen and saying, "That's Chappie,"
Yeah. That's John Wick.
Yeah.
It's very fun. The line that I believe that he drew just in my headcanon is that The Legend of Zelda has Zelda in the title.
Yeah.
It's the Prince of Persia.
You probably believed the opposite for that, and he had to learn that. It's like, Zelda's the princess.
Yeah. He's the prince of her.
Right. I won't make that mistake.
He's
again.
her prince.
Right.
The Prince of Persia. Which, if you don't know about Persia, maybe that makes sense.
Yeah. He thinks it's Thailand.
No, this is bullshit.
All
You're
right.
assholing me.
No bit zone. All right. I stole that phrase directly from a different podcast.
No bit zone?
Yeah.
What podcast?
From Gilmore Guys.
Shout them out. Oh, cool.
I wonder if they can't still be making. They're making. They have a show about a different
show
now. Yeah.
Gilmore Girls.
No, full circle.
Oh, you mean the Miss Maisel thing?
Yeah.
That's over.
Oh, well, fuck.
I think as of 2022.
I don't know, man.
It's been over. So let's move on.
Yeah.
We're not talking about...
Shout out to Kevin T. Porter and Demi. We love you. Come on the show,
They're busy.
Demi, I'm going to nail this in one. I did your Weebay.
Ooh. He writes on real ass shows. You know that?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. Anyway, sorry for literally everyone. There's have to be zero cross section on this podcast and that one. Except for us.
We.
And your wife.
So I'm just going to put it out there. We love Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking great show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. If you haven't seen it because it's about girls, you're depriving yourselves of some of TV's best. Okay.
And some really crazy sweaters.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
I didn't know they made sweaters that were tight like that. That's crazy.
Oh, man. I wish there was a Gilmore Girls game that Areno could challenge me.
What do you think the odds are there was a DS license game? Pretty high. We'd probably know about it.
I think I searched it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer. Yeah. So he thought the princess's name was Persia. He fights Jafar. He loses 21 times.
He looks hard. He looks like a difficult boss.
He does look tough.
I wrote about how I respect Reno's tenacity and ability to suffer through these difficult sections and bosses because he has died a lot.
Yeah,
I think he's died a lot more than normal. And part of that is the 23 hours he's put into this game. And that's of playtime,
Yeah. This is definitely the most dramatic climax yet.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He on try 22, he gets him down to 1 HP, but then he dies, but then he wins.
Yeah, you can see in his face he knows it's possible now.
Yeah.
He's going in there.
3 days, 23 hours total.
I feel like this second part in general had a lot of great moments like that.
Yeah.
Of overcoming adversity as opposed to part one.
Yeah.
But in general, this game as a whole is It's just one underdog moment after another.
Yeah, it looks rough.
Yeah.
From the combat to the platforming to the maze state of the stage to the brutal time limit.
Man, they called it a maze, but then they showed the maze. I don't know. It felt like a straight line-ish to me.
I mean, no, some of the stages, the fact that you have to, there's little puzzles, you have to like open doors and be fast and stuff.
Yeah, I'll get at that.
And like we said, a lot of the stages don't have that much visual variety, so it's probably you get lost a lot.
Yeah. Would you play this game?
I'd give it a try.
I think I would too.
Maybe just for the controls, and if I like it, keep playing. But if not,
there's got to be something about those controls we don't fully grasp.
I'm sure it's got to feel like crap.
Oh, it's got to. Yeah.
An early NES game, a PC game ported to, or sorry, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
An early PC game ported to the Famicom, Super Famicom. But now that he's won, the episode ends in a crazy way.
Whoa.
My cat has jumped off a chair.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me how it ends, Jackson.
It's showing clips from the challenge. Some
Oh,
of the biggest
the
moments.
fucking montage, dude.
Yes. And it's playing a song.
Yeah.
Do you know what song that is?
No. What song is it? I was laughing because it was really like.
It's a ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's "Never Say Goodbye" by Bon Jovi. They licensed out a Bon Jovi song for this episode of Prince of Persia.
Oh my god!
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know. Maybe it was like this is the end of the two-parter. It's been a long road. Let's look back at the memories.
Yeah.
But for us, it's been like, the last almost 2 hours.
It just feels very out of character for the show.
Yeah, it feels like a series finale.
A Bon Jovi.
Yeah, and then the song.
Very weird.
It was so good.
It was great.
Reno's chiming in as it goes along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Great episode.
No notes. Points. Greg Proops.
What?
From Whose Line? Greg Proops.
Oh, okay. That's not his name, is it? Greg what?
Proops.
Proops?
Poops with an R.
That's his name on purpose?
From God, I guess.
Well, I mean, from God, the person who named him. You could go and change that. That's allowed.
I know.
But he doesn't.
He's a comedian.
I bet that benefits him.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Like Neil Hamburger.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess that's not his real name.
I wouldn't know it. I always took that at face value, actually.
Neil Hamburger.
Greg Proops, Jackson. Greg Proops.
Proops is not hamburger. Hamburger? I can get Hamburg. That's a city.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was like Norwegian or something. Nordic. What do you call that area? I always forget this.
Scandinavia.
Yes, Scandinavia. That's neither here nor there.
Watch The Northman.
Tune in next time for Mega Man 2, one of the all-time greats. Jackson's seen it apparently. He thinks it's a great episode. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and take the pre-watching position that it's not. We'll see who wins. I look forward to losing. Have a great day.
Real quick. My catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
Smell you later.
It's a winner. It's so good.
All right. Catch you on the flippity flip.
Ooh.